Hello, guys. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help students preparing for FRM and CFA exam. Today, I'm back with one of my students' interview. He has been able to clear FRM Level 2 in his first attempt in May 2023. And he's going to be talking about his journey of preparation, what challenges he faced, and how he was able to manage the challenge and clear the exam. So we have with us Gibin. Jibin, thank you very much for taking out time. I know it's very early at your location,
Yeah,
and really, really thank you. And you're coming to this interview for the second time. You have given the same for level one also.
yeah.
So, for the benefit of the audience, if you can just give a brief, when did you clear your level one?
hmm
When did you started your level two? And what is the overall work experience that you have? And what is your location?
So, hello everyone. Thank you, sir, for inviting me for this interview. And yeah, it feels great to be back to share my story with you again. So, right now I'm based in Zurich, in Switzerland, and
Mhm,
I cleared my level one in May 2022, last year,
okay.
and I started with the level two preparation right after the results, which came out in June, and then I started in August for level two
Mhm.
preparation and gave my exam for this May 2023. Work experience, I have now over five and a half years of experience right now. Over 2 years here in Switzerland, and 3 years I was working in India in a big four before I moved to here. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now, when you started your preparation, okay,
hmm
what was the specific order that you were following in terms of books?
Books, yeah. So I started with the market risk and then
Mhm.
investment risk, liquidity, and then credit. So these four were the focus. So when I started in August, I focused on these four books and kept the operation and the current issues like literally to the end because it was already 9 months before the exam and I don't want to spend time that early
Mhm.
on those because those were theory. And also, I think it was a good decision because in January we just realized that they changed a lot of portion also.
Yes.
And so in August I started, but I finished these four by December only because I was just a bit relaxed. And also in between I went to India for 2 weeks as well. And
Okay.
yeah, this was the order that I followed. And then in
Okay.
once in January, I think in the February, the new books came out, the Schwesser for
Mhm.
operations and current issues. So I focused on those two in the later, yeah.
Okay. And now when you were preparing, what was the average number of time per day you were giving from August till December? And then after that?
I would say two um, 2 hours every day. Yeah, 2 hours every day. That was the average time that I was spending. So
After January also.
Um, so in August, I started giving 2 hours in the after. So my time was like in the evening after work, come back and spend 1.5, 2 hours reading
Mhm.
new chapters. And then in the morning, like I used my time in the morning, like for commuting and also like that took me around 1 hour. Also, I woke up early to, and like for example, I woke up at 5 and then got ready by 6 and then I had like 1 hour for my bus. My bus was like at 7, so I used this time and also my commuting time to revise what I learned before because I did some research on level 2 and found everybody was saying that you have to constantly keep in touch, otherwise you'll forget. And so that would
Right.
yeah, so that what was I was doing. So like morning I would say 1 hour, that commuting time I use for revision, and in
Mhm.
the evening 1.5, 2 was like learning something new. The new I was going ahead. That was the preparation I was following from August to December, and then from
Okay.
January. Well, I by this time you could see that I went through like several chapters several times. So I wouldn't say that I sat like 3 or 4 hours, like that straight. No, I've never sat like this. Average to
Okay.
in one sitting, I would say 2 hours, and then morning time, just a revision. Yeah, that's what I was following.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. And then when did you complete your one full reading of the overall content? Which month?
So by December, I finished these four books,
Mhm.
and then I would say this is my first reading because in the second reading was like from January after the preparation, after the payment, early bird payment. Also, this time I also did a question bank for these four books, And then I was waiting for the other two books, Shwesa, to come out. And yeah, so
Okay.
January, I would say
So
the second
question
one.
bank you started from January itself for all
Yeah,
every book you started from January. Okay.
for
And
these four books only. I didn't do question bank for operations and current issues actually.
when did you do that? These two books, Operation Current Issues.
After the Schwesser came out, so that was in February, I guess. They revised and sent out the new. I think you shared with us the new books, new right,
Hmm.
the online version. So that was
Right.
around in February. And then I didn't do the question bank for these two books because it was more like theory. So
Hmm.
just wanted to read and yeah, because these two books has lot to remember compared to the other four books. Because the other four are
Okay.
more like yeah, logic, I think.
Okay. Wonderful. And then when the overall solving also got completed, which month the full solving got completed?
I think it took Jan. By February mid or end, yeah. For those,
No, no. I'm talking about all the six books.
no. So your question bank, I did only for these four books. So I started in
Acha,
Jan, and
okay.
by February end it got over. And then once these books came out, then I just focused on them and kept revising the other four, like side on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you solve sectional test, mock papers, and when
Uh,
did you solve it?
No, no, actually, I had enough time, but I didn't do that mock papers or any sectional test. Actually, I didn't solve
Oh,
any. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest to another person this approach because I think if I would have solved, it would have helped me, to sit 4 hours straight in the exam. This is something which I struggled. Maybe we can talk about later, but yeah, but I didn't solve any mock papers and sectional questions. I just focused on the books and the question bank of
so
yours.
any reason? Any reason in the sense that you were busy or you just
Yeah,
decided to do it?
yeah. One way was like one thing was I was busy with the work also, and second thing, I thought I'll just focus on the books. I mean, and also towards the end, I didn't want to stress, because I just want to
Makes sense.
complete it. And at one point behind my head, I was like, okay, why, maybe I just postpone or maybe it's too much. So I then thought, okay, just read what you read and just also I have to focus on my work as well. So I thought I'd just relax towards the end and just keep reading the books
Got
and
it.
not
Got it.
solve the questions. Yeah.
Okay. And which book did you found very, very tough and which book you found very, very easy?
Actually, so I skipped all the difficult chapters in each book. So then it was overall not so bad because in market risk, for example, those two chapters with that models, interest rate models. I mean, it's actually an interesting chapters, but and also I got a question of with the model remembering, but I just skipped the formulas because
Okay.
it wasn't. I thought there is no point in remembering, but in the exam I got the question also. But I studied the properties of the model. That was more interesting to me. And also in credit risk, I skipped all those structured credit risk portfolio,
The rating,
some little
rating,
yeah
kind of
rating
a thing.
related. Yeah, all. But if you, I'm sure you also know it. If I skip those, then the other chapters are actually easy. It's a lot pretty
Right.
logical and it's just giving money, collateral management and stuff. So this
Right.
is what yeah, and then in operation risk there was one chapter like you have to remember all these provisions and all that stuff, accounting related, capital, banking, holding company, something like this. I
Ha ha
skipped
ha.
this one also. So I think these were like
No, you
difficult,
skipped.
right?
You skipped in the sense you didn't to even do it by till the end of the exam. Matlab, till the time we
No,
end the
no,
exam.
yeah, yeah, I didn't even read them at one
Oh,
time only. I just focused on the other chapters, which was like I thought it was like you know,
but this is very
uh,
interesting because
yeah,
somebody who might find because what you have simply did is in each book you realize there are three, four chapters which are tough. I am not going to touch them. I'm going to
yeah,
only focus on the other books, and that also led you to clear the exam.
yeah. Yeah, well, because
Okay.
I mean there are 100 chapters, and yeah, I mean I think if I take a total of this, it's like around six of them, 6 or 7 chapters. So I thought I'll focus on the rest and leave the ones which I think
Wow.
uh,
Now this is very
not too
interesting, and
tough
this is
to.
very good. This is very
Yeah,
good for the students because so you basically got a shortcut. You can say you realize that those six, seven chapters or 10 chapters will not make a much difference in the result.
Yeah.
So,
it
so
it was a risk.
basically,
It was a risk, but I thought, okay, let's focus on the other 93 chapters very well, and why spend more time and break your head on these 7 chapters? Which I have heard it. I did some research on this credit risk chapters. Credit risk chapters also, like if you're really into rating agencies, it's really useful. I'm not in rating agency, and I don't know if I be the rating agency, so maybe yeah, I'll learn it
this
sometime in the future.
this
Maybe
is
not
called
now.
stress-free preparation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
And yeah,
wonderful.
that's what yeah, it worked out happy. I'm happy that it worked out. Also, yeah, I wouldn't suggest this approach to anyone. Maybe I just, if you see my quartiles also, it's not that really great on these books, but yeah, I'm happy, but I just cleared it. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, when you went to the exam, so what
Hmm.
happened in that first 1 hour? Uh, and I also want to understand how it is how it was different. The exam day was different from level one.
Overall, I would say like when I gave level 1 and got out, actually, I had this feeling that okay, I could make it. But in level 2, I would say I didn't have this feeling. I was like more like, yeah, maybe I couldn't make it. This was the overall difference. Because level 2, I wasn't
Okay,
even sure. Level 1, I had something in mind. Maybe I could clear it. The overall experience I'm talking about. But then on the exam, looking at the questions, I would say for me, I felt like the numericals. Everybody said like I used to watch what the others experience, and everybody said numericals doesn't come like a big chunk. But for me, I felt like there was a lot of numericals. There were some
okay,
direct plug and play, but like some questions were actually really just like finding the present value. But I thought it was taking so much time, the calculation point of view, or maybe I
okay.
didn't practice enough. That's why maybe it was I felt this way. And also for theoretical, it was not very direct questions. It was I had a like some the options were not so easy to eliminate, and also there were some questions like yeah, suppose you are a cybersecurity consultant and I get 4 options, and then I have to provide a recommendation which the regulators would accept. And the four
Hmm.
options were like really similar. I mean, then what I did was like just choosing, the most conservative. So it was not easy to. What I
Okay.
want to say is it was not easy to eliminate the options as well. More like application and more. It really makes you think at like at that point of time what is the best answer. It's not something you learn like in
Okay.
even though I started 9 months early, it doesn't help, but it's like more application at that for that question. I felt the questions were more like this and not easy to
That
eliminate.
is why it is level two.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did. So more level 2. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe
Okay. But hmm.
yeah, no, maybe
No, no, go ahead.
if I would have taken mocks and more questions, it would have helped me better. So that's a
So the
yeah.
confidence level was not that much as compared to level one.
Yes, I
Okay.
would say yes. I
And
had
in
this
this
feeling
level,
for. Mhm.
yeah, yeah, please.
I had this feeling like some like for example operation risk related. I had the feeling that it was more like theoretical and it was I did good. Um, Also market also I thought I did okay, but yeah, maybe the apart from the numericals I did go okay, but then yeah, I, but I wasn't
Got it.
really sure. Just a feeling, that's all, but not 100% good feeling also.
Might be because I I think so. When we were preparing for level one, you
Hmm.
had your brother in the timing zone. Time zone was also matching, so you were able to
Yeah,
discuss a lot. And this time you had no study buddy as such for the
yeah,
preparation.
yeah, exactly. The timing zone also got changed because the US time is like 7 hours back, and it really when he maybe by the time I end my shift, he's in his like job. So we used to discuss, but not like in level 1. Yeah, and also in
Okay.
level 1, I
Okay.
think it was more like level basic product. I mean, it's not something really new. It's something which you have learned in the past. Maybe some concepts are new, so it's always
Mhm.
there in the back of your head. Level 2 is altogether next level. Yeah, a
Okay.
different world. Yes.
And now, how many theory and how many calculation roundabout came in your exam?
This is I'm not pretty sure, but I think maybe out of 80. 2025 would be numericals and rest theory. But it's just around I really felt it. Numericals was actually really way too much than expected.
As compared to what
Uh,
you had expected, yes.
expected, yes, yeah. And what I heard from
Eh,
other people as well, yeah.
Okay. You were the chosen one, I think so, for that.
Could be. And also the funny thing was like I was the only one during that shift at that center for writing the FRM
Okay.
exam. Maybe in the afternoon someone else was there, or I don't know, but I was the only one in that
And you gave the
timing.
exam in Zurich itself.
Yeah, in Zurich. Yeah,
Okay. And with respect to the time, you didn't face any problem, right? 4 hours, 80 question was enough.
yeah. The time was fine. I mean, I was
Okay.
able to complete everything in on time. Yeah.
And the length of the questions, theory question explicitly,
Mm.
was it very big?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
It
one
was.
page.
Yeah. I mean, now it's a computer based, right? So, but it was really you have to read a lot and you have to really be careful with the sentences between some sentence you might feel this is okay, but some sentence you have to be really thinking that oh no it's
Right.
wrong, it's something is wrong. You have to really. I felt the options were really big. Also, you have to read and yeah, really pick the
Got it.
right one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And then when you came out of the exam, what was the confidence
hmm
level? And was there any number in your mind that out of 80, I'll get this much correct?
No, I I was like I said, I was like maybe I could clear it, but I was not pretty sure that how much it would be correct. But like overall, I said like I said, I had a good feeling about operations, and also I got a good grade in that. And the other ones, I thought okay, maybe I might you know perform well, but not really a good number. Yeah, to be honest.
Right. Perfect. Now, when you went to when the results came out, 3311,
hmm
you have cleared the exam. Now, did
hmm
you expected operation risk and liquidity risk to be that good? I mean, the preparation happened that well.
Yeah, yeah. Preparation time also. Liquidity was from the starting. I mean, you also know the book is actually not that really tough. I mean, there are so many chapters, but it's really okay, not that really tough. Liquidity chapter book. Operations
Hmm.
also. Actually, I prepared well, though I prepared it late. I was able
Hmm.
to read like 2 or 3 times on the operations. So preparations were good with these two books, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, because
Okay. And
operations,
now,
everybody said it's a big, mhm. Like everybody would mention it's really tough, but it's just the content-wise, like 24 chapters, but it's not really that tough compared to like the other books, I would say.
okay.
That's
Okay. Okay. Now, if I ask you three tips from your side, how to prepare for FRM
Mhm.
level 2, what would be those three tips?
So from my experience, I'm a working professional. So I would say for level two, you start early because this is very important
Hmm.
that you give yourself time. Also, I mean, you have to focus on work. Also, you have to focus on your studies. Also, there will be some social events that you can't say no. I mean, to some you have to say no, but you can't say no to everything. So uh,
Hmm.
start early so that you have enough time to prepare. Second is, of course,
Right.
this is from my experience, do mocks. If you have really good time, do book mocks and also sectional questions so that you will get a crisp, it's about not remembering, it's about application and choosing the right answer. So this experience is very,
Hmm.
really important. And yeah, it's
Okay.
a third would be, it's a like 100 chapters. So at least you have to read two or, operations and liquidity, also current issues. You have to read at least 2 or 3 times. So in order to remember because these three, it's about remembering operations, liquidity. The other is about logic. So I would say at least two or three
Right.
times you have to read and get familiarized with the concept. Also, what I followed was in the evening, I said I moved forward with the new chapters, and in the morning I was revising. So if you could follow this, it's very important. Then you go through 100, and then going back again, you might feel the stress at all. I'm not remembering anything, but if you put in like some
Right.
efforts, 20 minutes, like try to revise what you learned from another book. So let's say you're doing now operations, but pick up like 20 or 25 minutes in the morning or commuting time. Try to read something, maybe in a market risk, so that you keep in touch with it and it's not
Got it.
overwhelming towards the end. Yeah, this is what I followed. The third one, especially, I would
Wonderful.
stick to this plan. Yeah.
But wonderful.
So those are my three tips.
Really happy that you have been able to share your journey and talk about your experience, the problems, like you said about mock papers and sectional tech. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
give time, but and slightly it got reflected in your curriculum in the quartiles that you got. Also, the stress-free
Yes. Yes.
preparation methodology that you
Mm-hmm.
highlighted. So all of this will definitely help a lot of students, and they will be able to clear the exam in the future by watching your video. They'll get motivation, some idea on how to prepare properly for the exam. So thank you very much,
Yep.
Gibin, for taking out time
Thank.
and talking to us.
Thank you, sir.